Welcome to Subramani. I have always worried about predicting, the famous saying which says predicting is difficult, especially if it's about the future. So, based on this, I was reading something and I read this beautiful article, or rather a summary of many predictions which had gone wrong. So obviously this is from history, and since it has since the Americans document history better, it's very difficult to do such an article on India, because the guy whom I'm saying that he predicted this, for example, there's a very famous merchant banker, investment banker, who said publicly that Reliance Power could open at 1000, right? So the promoter of course said it. It was Anil Ambani's business to say it will open at 1000. He said it openly in a press conference, and there are many people who agreed that it would open at 1000. Today I think it's at 12 rupees or 15 rupees, whatever, right? I don't have shares of Reliance Power anymore. I recently sold all of my shares. I traded in Reliance Power very regularly, so I'm not holding anything against that person, but yes, he was wrong, but there is not enough evidence for me to produce and say that this was wrong. But I can always tell you from published books, like this book published in the year 2000 said the new strategy for profiting from the coming rise, the market will hit 36,000. That is 36,000 for the Dow. 36,000 for the Dow predicted in 2000 has come true in 2022. So I'm very confident of predicting the markets if I don't put a date. For example, I'm very clear that the market Sensex will hit 100,000. Will I live to see 100,000? Will I be dead? I have no clue, because I'm taking two guesses. I'm taking a guess on the markets and on my life, and over which I have no control, right? So I could die tonight, or the market could reach 100,000 in 5 years. You never know. It's already at 60,000. So could it double in 5 years? Why not? Right? So it could reach 100,000. It may not reach 100,000, because I could die one day before it reaches, right? So never put a date to the prediction. So say 100,000 or say a date. In the next 5 years, markets will do very well. That's easier to defend rather than to say market will reach 1,20,000 in the year 2027 September. It's too much of a risk, because your video is alive, your article is alive. Somebody is going to see it and say, look, you were wrong. So the chances are maybe the market will reach 100,000 and I will see it, but I have no clue as to when it will reach and whether I will be alive till that date. So therefore taking a chance like that does not make any sense. Similarly, books have been written in the year 2005. Somebody, David Lera, wrote saying how real estate can never go down. Time to time there will be people who say God does not make it anymore, so buy real estate, things can't go wrong. How the real estate market is going to boom from 2002, from 2005. Well, the US market didn't boom. Indian market, everything boomed from 2002 to 2008, but after that real estate has also struggled, right? So, and typically the language that they use, are you missing the property boom? See what is happening, don't miss out, right? So all that, so there is pressure. You made money in the markets, in the equity markets, you have some 30, 40, 50 lakhs lying there, not knowing what to do. You're afraid to put it in the market, so you put it in real estate. Real estate can be a good investment, there's no doubt. You could stay in it, you could use it, it could appreciate, but real estate has some limitations. Understand that. In your asset allocation, my asset allocation, real estate is close to zero. The house in which I'm living is the only thing. I got one more small house which I need to sell off. Maybe a year or two I will sell it off. But with the short term horizon, don't be so sure about real estate. Also, with real estate, don't be sure that you will be able to liquidate when you need it. It does not matter whether it is a 5 crore bungalow or a small 1 BHK, right? In the 1 BHK, you will take a lesser loss actually. Another prediction of saying 2000 index Dow 30,000 by 2008. This was by Robert Zucaro. Again, typically saying why it is different this time, right? It is never different this time. So that's the problem. Any time when somebody says this time is different, you have to run. Be very careful. So again, this is one more prediction which was ridiculously wrong. I mean, only time will tell you that this was ridiculously wrong. So it's not that I have not made mistakes. So learn from these mistakes. The Great Crash Ahead, Strategies for a World Turned Upside Down, said Harry Dent's book in 2011. In 2011, he was predicting that the market will be absolutely in terrible shape and things like that. And anybody who can see so much of a calamity because of the government behavior, because of Fed behavior, because of RBI behavior is wrong, right? So don't worry too much about these people. These people have tremendous ability to come back and correct their mistakes. We may not be able to as individual investors, right? So and don't get carried away either way, because somebody can come and tell you that, oh, real estate is great, and you put your money in real estate and it goes down. If you have the ability to wait, it won't hurt you, but if you have a leverage position, it's going to ruin you, right? So be willing to correct your mistakes. So make only those mistakes which you can correct, and correct not very expensively. I've always said this example. Somebody came and told me that GMR is a good buy at 71 rupees. So I bought it at 71 rupees. And immediately I was told by another friend of mine with my broker and said, are you mad? You should be getting rid of this share right away. So I got rid of it at 69. Then I had the mortification or luck of seeing it go down to 9 rupees. I still have 1000 shares to remind me of the mistake of having bought at 69. But I at least got rid of the other 9,000 shares which I was holding. So at least I got rid of that much. So I'm very happy. And this 1,000 I held, saying, what if this information is wrong? So then it went down to 9 rupees. I didn't sell, but I bought more. Today is at 35 rupees. Is it a great share? I don't know. I don't like the management much, but yes, maybe I'll hold on, maybe I'll sell. So I'm saying, have I made mistakes? Yes, of course I made these kind of mistakes. Another book by Wiley, originally published in June 2002, it says, conquer the crash. You can survive and prosper in a deflationary depression, right? Deflationary depression predicted in 2002, and then you know what happened to the market, right? The market just went for a huge bull run. At least in India, it went from 3,000 index to 21,000 index. That's what happened. So don't take big authors too seriously, right? Whenever you get the sky is falling on your head kind of data or information or things like that, be sure that this too shall pass, right? So when we were hit by COVID, I remember one fund manager, he now manages portfolios, he does only PMS. He wrote a piece saying the world is not going to come to an end, and I completely agreed with him, and therefore I even published it in my blog. I think that was 2020, right? So 2020 March, I was buying, he was also buying, and both of us benefited. So when somebody tells you the forthcoming crash or real estate is going to boom, real estate can never go down, blah blah blah, you have to make sure that you don't get carried away. How many times have you heard from the year 1999, 2000 that the imminent collapse of China, this is going to happen, their currency is going for a toss, right? You've heard all those stories. You've heard all those stories about US also, but US today has single-handedly managed to destroy Europe, make sure that Ukraine fights Russia, right? So US has been able to do all that. Is the US economy itself in threat? I have no view, but don't take very strong views either way. That's my warning, right? The Dow, believe it or not, 100,000, fact or fiction, book published in 1999. Of course the Dow will reach 100,000. Will you and I be alive? That's all. Again, repeating what I said, don't put a date and a price to it. That's the more difficult thing to do. You can flip a coin and arrive at more or less similar conclusions and be completely right or completely wrong. And there is absolutely nothing to be gained by being completely right or being completely wrong, right? Then how many people predicted that the year 2000, the Y2K bomb, and all the planes will crash and trains will stop, all computers will stop functioning, right? We heard all those stories. Nothing happened. It just went off. Can you imagine how much frenzy was created in 99 and 2000? I had cousins who said, I will not buy a computer till it is 2000, year 2000 will launch. I'm very scared. I don't know what is going to happen. He did not buy a laptop for his daughter. I remember this was 1999, right? So again, there was a book written by Edward Yourdon and Jennifer Yourdon saying the 2000 computer crisis, what does it mean to you, right? So many such books, many such things. Then there was this famous Whitney Tilson, American investor, former hedge manager, who said Google is going to be a flop issue, right? So, well, we've heard all those stories. We've heard that Google is going to be a flop issue. Google turned out to be a success. The question is not whether Google turned out to be a success. The question is, would you have had the patience to hold Google right from the start, right from the IPO till today? Because the fluctuation would have been like this, very high standard deviation. Would you have held on? That's the question you have to ask. I remember this heading by Business Week when they said the death of equities on the cover, saying inflation is going to destroy the equity market. Completely true today also. Somebody is going to tell you, look, inflation is going to destroy the market, and for all you know, the market could come down. The question is, what do you have to do when the market comes down? Are you investing in the market, or are you investing in single shares in the market? So look at each share in your portfolio, look at your fund managers, what they have in their portfolio, and accordingly act, right? That's what you can do. Don't have to worry about the market and world situation and things like that. You can always be permanently worried if you think about that. I'm more in the Peter Lynch mode, saying if you have spent 10 minutes on looking at macros, you have wasted 7 minutes.